I know exactly who I am. And that allows you to be able to use pauses more effectively. It allows you to have stronger conversations because less is often more when your words are more concentrated. When you say less, confident people know they don't have to have an answer to everything. They don't have to say every little thing that comes to their mind. The person who's the most knowledgeable in the room, typically in that board meeting, is the one who says the least. And so it's always the reverse of what we originally think.
I was wondering if you fear conflict and tough conversations as much as I do. It's been the bane of my existence ever since I got divorced about 14 or 15 years ago, maybe even longer now. I had to look up bane of existence, and because that's the first thing that came to my mind. And what that means is a constant source of misery. So I came across the most wonderful interview today with a gentleman named Jefferson. Maybe you guys know him, Jefferson Fisher. And he was being interviewed by Doug Bopst, I hope I'm saying that right, on a podcast called The Adversity Advantage. It's just Adversity Advantage. And I listened to this all day today. I'm helping my parents, both of them, recovering from health issues. And if I'm not careful, I'm going to have some health issues of my own. So I'm constantly putting myself in an environment where I can grow and continue to expand my D1 Productions vision of developing future leaders with character. And the reason I've told you before that I'm doing this is because I want to teach younger people, the younger generation, how to break the grip of anxiety and fear and become effective communicators and leaders for our country. This interview was powerful, and it's going to help me communicate effectively. And then when you communicate effectively, you have a positive outcome for everyone. And our world is just in turmoil. I don't know if there's ever going to be a solution to all the fighting. So we have to prepare our kids for the ring. But how do we do that? So Jefferson Fisher, he gave us tools for conversations. And I'm just going to share 2 or 3 of them with you here. And then I'm going to put the link in the description. And I'm going to do a couple more videos on this interview. And I'm even writing a newsletter and a blog. But what I learned today that was so helpful is when you have to communicate with someone and you know that, this is a conflict that needs to be resolved. Make sure the first word you say in your response is a breath. A breath. So where there's going to be a word, put a breath. Like if you want to say, I did not just say that. Instead, you would take a breath, collect yourself, and then say, I did not say that. And then the second tool is to let these words, like envision them falling down, the ones that are not productive and that won't land well. Just envision the words coming out of your mouth, and the words that are not helpful, watch them drop to the ground. You might have to have some experience with conflict to know what the words are that aren't helpful. But, adversity may give us an advantage. All right. And then the third tool is, I forgot to tell you this one thing. The reason why you want to let certain words drop to the ground and maybe even certain responses is think of it as like a tennis match, and you're going back and forth with an argument. It's not like a tennis match. You don't want to have to hit every single ball that comes your way in an argument. I've been there, done that, doesn't work. So, or like a baseball game, and like someone's pitching you or throwing you the ball and you want to catch it, throw it back, catch it, throw it back. You don't want there's certain balls that you don't want to catch. There's certain pitches that you don't want to hit, right? They're the balls. Like, don't swing at every ball that comes your way, because if you do, it could be a foul ball. And then that just makes matters worse. So decide which statements that you want to respond to. Like he said, you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to, which I think is great. I've been on both sides of that type of equation, and there really are no winners. All right, and so then it's important to frame, like say, before you go into any argument, frame the picture and say, no matter what happens at the end of our conversation, we're always going to love each other. We're always going to be there for each other, right? And then you stay in that frame and you just discuss the things that you are there to discuss. Don't go flying off on tangents here, there, and everywhere. Keep it condensed. Choose your issues wisely, what's most important to you, and stay in that frame knowing that you will be coming together. That is the goal. That's what we want to see as the outcome. And then that's what you're more likely to get. All right, that's right in alignment with everything that we're teaching in CPR. Starts with the heart, because we're not getting anywhere without that part. I might even make a rap out of all the content that I've been learning in this podcast. And he's been in a lot of interviews. I've never heard of Jefferson Fisher before, but I guess he has a pretty big Instagram following. And his content exploded when Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson started liking his stuff, and I think probably sharing it. And then, so he's very authentic. He's real, and I would highly recommend watching this whole interview that I'm going to link after you watch the clip that I'm going to choose for you. All right, thank you. Have a great evening.